Welcome to a continuing series of life moments, pop-ins, with accumulated wisdom from fishing without bait. Many people live their life on wishing and hoping and waiting for something to happen. Perhaps you're one of those. However, it's action and effort in the present that make a future possible. And I often tell this story to illustrate the importance of action and effort. There was a person who prayed to win the lottery every day. Oh, just sweat blood. Prayed every day and nothing ever happened. So one day they got so angry that they went outside and they yelled up at the sky. They said, "God, why won't you let me win the lottery?" And God called back down and said, "Could you meet me halfway and at least buy a ticket?" Action and effort. Buy the ticket into your life. The Buddhists talk about 3 gates that a word could pass through before it leaves your lips. Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? If you take a moment and pause and be mindful of the words you speak, the tongue is the only part of your body that's strong enough to break a heart. People can forgive, they don't forget. I often think of the children's nursery rhyme, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me." That's not true. Wounds can heal. Bones can mend. Words are forever. Quite often we talk about developing pause before reaction, and people would say, well, how do you do that? So again, I'm going to refer back to the 12-step world and one of the interventions, one of the suggestions that we have in that world, and we call it the 5-minute rule. So when you want to do something, you want to grab that extra donut, you want to grab that shiny thing at the electronics store, you want to answer that text right away, you want to answer that email, we suggest wait 5 minutes before you do that. The urge is never as strong. Test this out. When you're in a grocery store and you want to pick something up, take your cart over to the next aisle, and if you really want it, then you'll come back and get it. The 5-minute rule incorporated in your life. Quite often I ask people the reason that people name pets, and there's many answers and none is the right or wrong answer. However, at times I'll ask, what's the name of your favorite pet? And they'll say Spotty. So I said, well, if you would have never named Spotty and they ran outside and ran away, how would you call them back? Well, I couldn't. And then I would ask them, well, how would you feel about that? Well, I'd feel anxious. I'd be afraid. I'd be fearful. I'd be hurt. I'd be sad. And I say, quite often, if we're not able to label and identify our thoughts and feelings, they're like that also. And they can get away from us, and we can feel the same way. It's so important to label and identify how we think and feel. It gives you power. When we talk about mindfulness, quite often the most simple definition is paying attention on purpose and adding immediacy to how we think and feel. So at times when we say, I'm so sad, I'm angry, I'm happy, I'm glad, I'm resentful, I'm bitter. And again, it's how important it is to label and identify how we feel. However, I also ask that you add to that, I feel angry in the moment, right now, or at present. Add immediacy to how you think and feel, as if we add our thoughts to those, they'll stretch out into infinity and make depression and anxiety agonizing. Add immediacy to how you think and feel. I heard this from an individual once, and I thought it was rather a stroke of genius. There was 2 partners who were having contentious type of relationship, and this person told me once, my partner and I had a wonderful lunch today, and I didn't fall off my chair. However, I did say, how did that happen? My partner came in with a piece of paper and laid it on the restaurant table. I said, what is that? And my partner said, here are the things we're not going to talk about today. Here's a suggestion. When you're having conflict or animosity, make a list of things you're not going to talk about. Quite often, somebody will say to you, I don't know what to do. Or even ourselves, we have those self-doubts about, I don't know what to do. My friends, I'm going to make a suggestion to you. I have a strong hunch that you know what not to do. So rather than thinking of what I can't do or I don't know what to do, let's start off with what I know not to do. Have you ever lived your life on self-defeating words? I need to, I'd better, I'd have to, I'd better. How about replacing those with I choose to or I could? So if you understand and are willing to accept the consequences, everything in your life is a choice. Quite often I'll ask people, do you have to pay the electric bill? And most of the answers are, well, of course you do. And then I strongly suggest to them that you don't have to do anything. My friends, if you understand and are willing to accept the consequences, then everything in your life is a choice. How often do you say, I have to study, I need to exercise, I have to go to Aunt Mary's on Thanksgiving with my mother? You're setting up yourself for failure and disappointment and a bad time. My suggestion is that you change your perception as I choose to exercise because I want to lose weight. I choose to pay the electric bill as I love air conditioning. I choose to go to work as I want to pay my rent. And when everything in your life becomes a choice, on that day, my friends, you will be free. And at the end of every segment, we offer a free prescription: fruits, nuts, and vegetables. Unplug your television and take up fishing. And for a truly mindful experience, we suggest that you fish without bait. Do a kindness for yourself, do a kindness for another. Till all are free, none are free. Namaste.
Please check out our website at fishingwithoutbait.com, where you can listen to the show, comment on our discussions, and find out where you can subscribe to our podcast. If you're interested in flying the colors of Fishing Without Bait, click the shop icon on our website. We have clothing, mugs, cell phone cases, and so much more. Show the world that you fish without bait. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.